What's up, y'all? Today, we're looking at the Tetra Max RYZ, RYZ, I don't know, X3. Got it in a pick mount, but obviously that didn't work for the old Elite, so we have it converted to a dovetail. It's on there. By the way, go sticks work on Elites. Not flawlessly, but good enough. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so right now I am working on getting my 40-yard mark. I'm gonna start at the 20. I got the 3 pins set up. Hopefully get a solid 40 mark, and then we'll go back to, I forget what the instructions ask, either 60 or 80, and we'll put a sight tape on it. One thing I will say though, is for a $500 sight, well, it's basically 500 bucks, it's just below it, but there's no micro adjustment on the pins. There's no micro adjustment on the pins for 500 bucks. That seems kind of crazy, HHA. I'm not gonna lie to you, I appreciate y'all, but no micro adjustment's crazy. All right, didn't bring a tripod, so forgive the angles, but we're just gonna do the best we can here. We're gonna try to get a super good 40-yard mark. And then, like I said, depending on whether the instructions ask me to shoot 60 next or 80, or if I can choose, obviously I'll try to do 80 just because the further you get out, the more accurate the tape is usually. But we'll see what it wants me to do. Anyway, 40 yards, here we go. Bam. That's in the middle too. First shot, love that. Okay, so not like an inside out X, but you know, pretty close on this here silly gun target. Probably should have shot a group because, like I said, I really want to get this 40 dialed in, so I'm gonna go back and shoot a group. One thing I will give the HHA is just like ease of adjustment, other than the non-micro adjusting pins, which is crazy. But we got the center or the second and third axis set on the sight in 5 minutes. So pretty intuitive, pretty simple, easy to adjust. Ooh, I think that's an X. Almost, just a little tall that time. Thought I splashed that one. Also, that kind of hurt my shoulder. That was mostly, if you're wondering, that wasn't so much a noise of excitement as it was, ow, my shoulder, because I'm getting old and my body's decaying. You know, just bright, happy, sunny stuff. Might be able to call that a sight tape because those two look pretty dang good. Okay, so something that I was about to screw up is the instructions does ask for 60 and 20. So for all intents and purposes, my 40-yard pin, my last needle, is my mover. But because the tapes are asking for 20 to 60, I needed to zero my 20-yard pin on the mark, not my 40. This should only come into effect on multi-pin HHAs. Obviously, if you have a single pin, you only have one option. But being that the sight tapes are calibrated for 20 to 60, I needed to move, if my mark is 20, which it was, I need to move my 20-yard pin to the 20 mark, not my 40-yard pin or my 30-yard pin, because it's asking for the gap for sight tape purposes from 20 to 60. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I shot this thing a bunch of times at 60, and now I think I've finally got it dialed in. So we'll see if this last arrow's there. Yep, I can see the shadow from here. That's a good go. All right, so it looks like my dial mark is going to be 64. So if I am correct in my assumption here, I should be pulling tape number 64 out of the bag to put on this sight, and it should work. Cool, those are there. All right, I've played with the sight a bunch. I'm starting to get it sighted in. One thing that I don't like, that puts off a glare. I've already caught glare on that. So does this. Might have to take a Sharpie to all that or something. Black it out. The only other thing, and every site does this. The Hogfather does it. Every site I have anyway does it. The CBE does it. But I don't know if I can get enough leverage on it and hold the camera. See that? The housing moves on the track, and I've smoked every screw that there is down. But all of them do it. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish we could get a sight, even in the $500 price range, that wouldn't have that slop. There it is, you can really see it there. Have that slop in there. But other than that, sight's nice. I like it, I'll probably hunt with it this year and make up my mind whether I'm gonna keep this to the CB. But yeah, not a bad sight. All right guys, so I've been shooting, like I said, the HHA for a while now. I'm ready to put a real sight tape on it. I think that it's a great sight, don't get me wrong. Bubbles are a little more reactive. Some sights are a little slower to react with their bubbles. I like that. It's very easy to adjust second and third axis. The first axis is machined, which means it's built into the sight, which I don't love that you can't adjust it, but it is what it is. Not the worst thing in the world. The non-micro adjust pins at the price point seem kind of crazy. But the sight's well put together, looks good, fit and finish is good. It rolls smooth, it locks tight. Having the interchangeable barrels is nice. I could run 2 different arrow setups. Like if I want to make this my 3D bow as well as my hunting bow, I could make a target arrow tape and a hunting arrow tape, and I could just switch the barrels out on the sight knob and not have to touch anything else. That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid sight. It's just as good as the Hogfather that I've had since like 2012, or the Trek Pro that I just took off the bow to try something new. They all have their problems and weaknesses and whatnot, so I don't think there's any perfect sight on the market, but I think I'm going to commit to hunting with that HHA this year, and I'll make a decision as to whether I'm going to stick with that or go back to the Trek Pro at the end of antelope season here, so we'll see how it goes. Again, good sight. About the only one I haven't tried is the UV, but I've heard there's a few problems with that thing too, and it's $100 more than basically any other sight on the market. So yeah, anyway, solid sight. If you're in the market for a new sight, I don't think you could go wrong with the HHA Tetra RYZ or whatever, the high-end HHA or the Trek Pro, to be honest with you. So yeah, anyway, that's a video. Take care. God bless, guys.